I mean, women make really good winemakers. I think it's our attention to detail and our finer sensitivity to things. I'd like to encourage more women to do this. My name is Lynn Hess, and this is Peppertree Canyon. One of the things that makes us different is the authenticity of our wine. We make wine from grapes that we grow, and we make it all here in Orange County. Everything is grown as organically as possible, and the wine is made as naturally as possible. I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of, although we make only one wine, it's from the grapes that we grow.
What I'm looking at now is obviously vines, grapevines that you've planted.
Yes.
Okay.
We planted over 1,400 vines, mostly Sangiovese.
Sangiovese is the ubiquitous red varietal of Tuscany. It is a grape that has a lot of versatility. It is the main grape of Chianti, for example, which a lot of people recognize that name. And it's also the main varietal of Brunello.
My husband's favorite wines are Brunellos, and we love Tuscany. And so we have this Tuscan farmhouse, and my husband had this idea of, like, why don't we just make a Tuscan farm?
I'm Mike Jennings, AKA spouse of the winemaker. We're clearly accidental farmers. We did not intend to buy a farm. We just saw this house and we liked it because it was a nice house. And we figured, well, we've got all this space, why don't we just build a Tuscan farm around it? So we did.
Oh, those vines, they started off just this like little, literally like looking like little sticks. And we nurtured them, and they're now 7 years old, and they're producing wine.
And when we got those, we got the particular clone of Sangiovese that they use in Brunello, because we love Brunello.
We did, and we joke about it because it's North Tustin, right? So we call it Tustiny. So yeah, we aspire to make a good Brunello someday.
Brunello di Orange County.
So Orange County, California isn't a typical AVA. It is a giant county in Southern California where grapes are grown, but it does not have anywhere near the notoriety that you get within Napa or the Central Coast or Sonoma. It is not considered a place for wine. But what Lynn has at Peppertree Canyon is the only vineyard in Orange County. And she is making wine from the only grapes that are grown legitimately within Orange County.
Did you go into this with an intention of creating like an ecologically sustainable system?
Yes.
Okay, that was a priority for you.
That was a priority for us.
I think what Lynn is doing at Peppertree Canyon is an amazing feat for such a small production vineyard. She is dedicated to creating an environment that's healthy for the land, that's healthy for her grapes, that will ultimately improve her wine. So
we reuse all the timber that we get, and we're now reusing these to make steps all the way up to the olive grove. When we prune the olive trees and the vines in the spring, we bring in a chipper and we mulch everything, and we put that back into the ground. When we press the olives, we take all the pumice back and we put all that around the olive trees. We try to do stuff as sustainably as possible and recycle what we've got.
The innovation with which they're using the water sources on the property, for example, it's really just, it's thoughtful.
So we harvest water from the neighborhood, and we've built a number of different dams here that we open to gather the water.
It goes above and beyond what she has to do as a winemaker. And it really, I think, speaks to her integrity and her character of wanting to produce quality over just producing.
I'm proud that she's making really good wines right now.
Well, he's my harshest critic, so to have him say that, I'm like, wow. He loves olive oil. He's an olive oil connoisseur, wine connoisseur as well, but he's always been an olive oil fanatic. I'd say about 25% of the total olives make it into the olive oil. Most of that gets weaned out by Mike. You know, if the olive isn't perfect, it doesn't make it into his oil.
She is exaggerating, but it's true that if it's a bad olive,
oh my
it doesn't
God.
go into my oil.
Sometimes I have to keep them in the house, otherwise we wouldn't have any olives left for oil.
You like the end result, right?
I do like the end result.
We actually went to Tuscany a few years ago and went to the Frantoio Franchi, which is probably the best producer in Tuscany, because we wanted to learn from the best. And now we can compete with them. 2020 is our 4th vintage.
It's been our biggest harvest too, right?
Yeah, every year we get more olives and more oil.
How many bottles of olive oil did we produce this year?
290.
We had just gotten married, and so we were looking for a place that would be our home. So when this property came up, we put in an offer, and we're surprised that we got it. I think we complement each other very well. I mean, Mike is very calm, and he sees the big picture. He doesn't get caught up in a lot of the messy details, right? I tend to be more on the production side of things, so I tend to get immersed in the details on a day-to-day basis. And so I think we complement each other. What do I love about this place? Oh gosh, I mean, where do you start, right? I mean, how blessed are we to live in the middle of Orange County and have all this, where we have, you know, egrets and ducks and hawks and, you know, all kinds of wildlife. And we have frogs in the springtime. It makes you feel like you're a million miles away, and you look outside your window while you're in the middle of a Zoom call, and you take a break at the balcony and you're looking at a vineyard. I mean, how lucky am I? I never imagined myself being a winemaker. I've always enjoyed wine, but never imagined that I would be doing this. And I think, you know, having had to reinvent myself several times over my lifetime, first as an architect, and then as a technology IT person, and then as a business consultant, and now as a winemaker, farmer, I think, you know, we're all capable of doing many different things. It's just about believing and putting in the effort to make it happen, finding good people to partner with, and just keep going.